I spent the last 2 years of high school in a daze, locking away the questions that life seemed insistent on posing. I kept playing basketball, attended classes sparingly, drank beer heavily, and tried drugs enthusiastically. I discovered that it didn't make any difference whether you smoked reefer in the white classmate's sparkling new van, or in the dorm room with some brother you'd met down at the gym, or on the beach with a couple of Hawaiian kids who had dropped out of school and now spent most of their time looking for an excuse to brawl.
All right, that was President Obama reading from his own memoir, Dreams from My Father, which we've been dissecting right here on this program. Well, my next guest seems to have a real issue with the president's admission of drug use. Listen to this.
I say weed, I say blow, it's all a big deal, ha, 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 huge laugh from the college students. And if he had been busted under his laws, he would have done hard time. And if he had done time in prison, time in federal prison, time for his weed and a little blow, he would not be president of the United States of America. And he would not have gone to his fancy college. He would not have sold books that sold millions and millions of copies and made millions and millions of dollars. He would not have a great job. He would have been in prison, and it's not a joke.
And joining me now in studio, the author of God No, out in paperback on June the 5th, the always controversial Penn Jillette. You have, okay, I never understood this yellow, this red. Painted nail. I'm like, what the heck is that?
I wear my dad's ring, my dad's pinky ring, and my mom's nail polish. When I was a child, about 16, I started doing a lot of close-up magic, and my mother said to me, you know, Penn, people are looking at your hands, keep your nails nice. And I said, you mean like this, Mom? And I painted my nail, and I did it to mock her. And then it turns, so often, from teenage years to older, mockery turned to respect, and it was my way of just showing my love for her.
That's a great story.
She died in first day of 2000, and now I keep it. I mean, I
didn't know what to make of it. I'm like, what is that? You know, I'm sure everybody's asked you that.
It's just a guy who loves his mom a lot.
That's all. No.
Maybe it's a little bit goofy.
Why? Because you love your mother? I think it's a great tribute.
I show it that way.
All right, let me ask you about Obama. And I know you're a libertarian.
Yes, I am.
And you told me earlier you're interested in the libertarian candidate, perhaps for president.
Yeah, I think Gary Johnson's pretty good. You know, the nice thing about, I wish this were true for all the candidates, is their personal beliefs don't matter if they have a real strong theory of government. I mean, Ron Paul I can disagree with on creationism because I know that Ron Paul wants to circumscribe the where government is. So his opinions don't matter.
But here's the point. You know, and I know, and Neil Bortz, who's in the studio tonight, he knows. He's a libertarian friend of mine. Gary Johnson's not going to win. So isn't that a half a vote for Obama? Now think about this. $5 trillion in debt this country is headed to being Greece. Why give him, I would argue, a half a vote?
Because I believe that voting for the lesser of two evils in game theory will always lead to more evil. You can just do that mathematically.
I don't know if it's the lesser of two evils.
You have to. Oh, that's different then.
Repealing Obamacare?
If you actually believe that Romney is a fabulous candidate, then you should vote for him. I don't. Most of the stuff I disagree with Obama on, I also disagree with Romney on. To me, they're much more similar than they are to you.
Listen, my fear about Governor Romney, this is an opportunity for him to be a great president. But he's going to have to make some bold changes. It's not a time for half measures if we're going to save the country from being Greece. And that would mean that he has really got to cut government spending, balance the budget, stop borrowing 40 cents of every dollar, eliminate health care. And if he doesn't do it, I'm going to be disappointed as a conservative.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be. And, you know, what a libertarian is, of course, as far right as you can go on money and as far left as you can go on sex. You know, take a left on sex, a right on money.
Thanks a lot for sharing that. It's a little too much. I don't think your mother would appreciate that.
When I say sex, I just mean social issues.
I'm kidding.
I just mean as every question that comes up politically, from a moral point of view, not from a pragmatic point of view, I ask myself, is there any way to solve this issue with more freedom instead of less?
I love that question.
Is there any way we can trust? Just ask that question first. Is there any way we can give people more freedom? It was the idea.
You know what the sad thing is? The country, sadly, has been conditioned mentally to believe government is the answer to their problems. So it's a problem.
I hear you often use the word morality, and my argument with you on that would simply be morality cannot be legislated. Morality has to be individual. It has to be from the heart, and you can't bring the government in to try to
but if everyone lived your way, and I got a break, unfortunately, I want to have you back for a longer period of time.
I'd love that.
I talked to you earlier, and I said Thomas Paine said, were the guides and dictates of conscience irresistibly obeyed, there'd be no need for any lawmaker. None. But people aren't living like you.
What percentage of people are good? I say the vast majority. And that may be my difference.
Instinctively, but I think human beings also have a proclivity towards evil.
Yeah, well, see, I tend to be so Pollyanna-ish and so optimistic that pushes one to.
Hey, I really enjoyed
your football at me.
You want to throw it? No, I'm not going to throw it at you. Next time you do a magic trick.
Okay.
All right. Great to see you. I'm going to see you next time I'm in Vegas.
Please do. Please.
I would love to.